Pretty privilege is real, and Love is Blind has proved this 4 times over. Stay tuned. Welcome to another episode of Claire Haire. Today we're going to be talking about Love is Blind and my overall review, scientific perspective, and the future of Love is Blind. So first things first, we're going to go into the scientific explanation of what an experiment is. An experiment is when you present a hypothesis, you have subjects, and you can choose to have the subjects in the know of the experiment or have the subjects be part of the experiment without them knowing. And then you get the results from that. And that's how a scientific experiment supposed to work. Love is Blind stopped being an experiment a long time ago. I don't know if people try to be like, oh, well, social media has that impact on it, but you can't even delineate the people on the show from who actually wants to be on the show, who wants to be famous. We'll talk about that later. And the people who actually want to find love. Like, it's just hilarious to me how they keep trying to say, oh, thank you for being part of the experiment. Experiment ended years ago, okay? That was Love is Blind season 1. All right, so we're gonna go into my overall review and probability of longevity. We're using words today that don't make sense. The likelihood that they're gonna stay together long. We're gonna go with Zach and Bliss. Honestly, when Zach and Bliss first came out together, I was not a fan of it because what I'm not a fan of is men or women fumbling someone who's clearly good for them and taking advantage of the fact that they're always going to be there. The fact that Bliss is better than me, because I'm telling you, if you sat there and chose some child over me, which, like I said, anybody under 28 is an embryo to me, but you sat there and chose like some child over me, I'm not going to be pressed about giving you a second chance. Now, meeting up with him so he can see how fine I am, I would have did that. But honestly, like, just the fact that he sat there and chose the path of least resistance, which a lot of men do, especially in their youth. That's why I was surprised that Zach did it, with his background, that he would choose someone as, demeaning as Irina was towards him. And of course, editing is, we can only do with what we edited, what we can see. But I personally feel like their longevity, I feel like they're going to last a very, very long time. I feel like they balance each other out. The only thing I can see being issue in the future is just Zach's ability to self-sabotage himself. So I don't know if, he can get past his own background and really feel like he should be loved by someone as amazing as Bliss is. Bliss is a baddie, 100, 10 out of 10. The fact that she's intelligent and, has charisma, has personality, like, honestly, the only reason why I know she wasn't snatched up before this show is because she's so busy. She doesn't have, also, she's too smart to be in love. You have to be a little bit stupid to be in love with someone, okay? Okay, because there's such thing as being too smart to be in love, because you're just going to overanalyze everything, and love is just pure that way that it covers that. Second couple is Kwame and Chelsea. I can see them lasting long, but I can also see Kwame later on realizing that he doesn't really want to be a family man, later on in life. So I feel like they're going to last long because, like, honestly, watching them together, like, on the reunion, like I said, we only see what were edited, but something about Kwame's answers felt very scripted, okay? It felt like it wasn't the three-layer apology. Come on, baby. There was a lot of that I was confused on. The three-layer apology was wild. Like, I feel like if you got to apologize in the tertiary level, I feel like there is a need for you to try to undersell what happened. Because if I'm going to say I'm sorry, I'm going to say I'm apologized for A, B, and C. I'm not going to sit here and tell you about A, B, and C. It's too long. It's extensive for no reason. I am going to play the grammar police real quick, the grammar report. There was a couple of words that were used that were not used correctly. Like, when he had seen Bliss for the first time, not Bliss, when he had seen Micah for the first time, he was just like, I was just so encapsulated by her beauty. It's like, it's enraptured. Another one was when Jackie, will get to her, Jacquelina later, when she was just like, I feel like my words aren't succeeding for you. Sufficient. There was another word that I heard that I don't remember it, but there was just a couple of words that I was just like, as someone whose vernacular is pretty extensive, I can tell you I was disappointed because I would have edited that out. You're not gonna have me on national TV misusing words. But no, I love me some Chelsea. Her body's A1. I feel like she has such a charm to her, but I'm tired of people trying to make it seem like she's desperate, but I feel like she's very in touch with her emotions. Like when she said that she calls her friends to have dinner with her, like that literally pulled at my heartstrings. My black heart grew 3 times that day. But I can definitely say for sure, like I like Chelsea. But longevity wise, I just see once Kwame's out of his script, he might be ready to go. Tiff and Pret, I like them together. When she fell asleep, that's something my low iron self would do. Like I fall asleep at the drop of a hat. I really do. It don't matter where I'm at, because people are like, oh, you wouldn't fall asleep in church. I fall asleep anywhere. I'm on the bed. I fall asleep on the bed. I fall asleep walking instead. I'm Dr. Seuss with it. On a hat, with a hat on, with a cat nearby. Like I'm Dr. Seuss, but I'll fall asleep anywhere. So that was pretty hilarious. But I can see with Tiffany and Pret, I can see them lasting. I can see them going the full long term. I feel like they complement each other well. It's just there's a certain level that I feel like Pret can be kind of overcritical of certain things, which I get it, because as a designer, you're like very attention to detail. My glasses, my earrings, and my necklace match, so I'm very much attention to detail too. So it's just like I get where he's coming from in that, but like that might misconstrue, like once they misconstrue like his personality, I can see it being misconstrued because he's very attention to detail. It might come off as OCD, but I can see them going the long term. It's just that he's got to really chill about having everything perfect, because being in a marriage, having a child, all that does not come with perfection. All right, next one. I think that's the only couples, because everybody else broke up after that. I'm gonna go in with Mika and Paul. First of all, Paul needs to stick to his guns. I really feel like with Paul, there was a level of that he was trying to backpedal when he said that Micah didn't have any nurturing spirit. No offense, but men have a discerning spirit that I wish, women would go off bat. Men automatically know if you're like the nurturing type off rip, which it's not really fair, because, I've only known you for 20 days. Like, how can you know if I have a nurturing spirit? But certain people, they have like a calming spirit that you want to be around. I wish he would have said, I don't feel at peace with her. He should have said that instead of saying she don't have a nurturing spirit. But if he would have stuck to his guns, I'd give him more respect compared to backpedaling, because people were in the crowd saying, woo, woo. But no, I can definitely say for sure, like, I like that he said no, because what would have sucked is that he went into the marriage knowing that she doesn't have certain qualities that he wanted, and he tried to change her, and then it become resentful afterwards. After that, with Micah, I feel like Micah, I still side-eye her from what she did in the pool when she said, oh, here's cheers to a failed engagement. And she did a power move. Like, you gotta understand when people do power moves or try to trade energies with you. So if somebody's feeling insecure, they want to trade up with you. So with that being said, like, I really feel like when she asked Kwame to go and get her a drink, he immediately snapped to go get her shots, but Chelsea already directed an order at him. Micah still wants that type of attention, and that comes with age, where you don't want that type of attention, where you should be able to command the attention of your man without doing theatrics. I feel like Micah's still very immature. I liked her hair at the reunion, but it's a no for me. I feel like I'm glad they're not together, but I do feel like something about the fact that something that rubbed me the wrong way was after he broke it off with her, he followed her to her room. And like, me personally, like, when I'm done with somebody, or when somebody embarrasses me, like, it's like I'm so nice, not naturally just nice, naturally kind-hearted, but once you try me, I go there. Because me personally, I'd have been like, all your family's here. Unless you want to see a funeral, I don't know why you're still in this room. But it's just, she had more patience than me, because my thing is like, you made your decision, you determined that I'm not enough for you, or blah, blah, go about your business. I didn't like that he followed her. It's kind of like he cornered her into listening to him. It's kind of like he's trying to alleviate his guilt about, making her look bad. Her friends are not worth more than this piece of paper. Like, I don't care if it was a joke or if it's pre-orchestrated. You don't laugh at your friends when they're going through trouble. I'm not even gonna mention her friend because her friend's irrelevant. All right, next one, the final one is Jackie and Marshall. First of all, his eyebrows during the his eyebrow game when he was like, like when she was saying, I'm not gonna give back the ring. Also, I'm going with Buddy. Like, I'm not even gonna mention him because y'all know who his name. I don't know his name is John, Jack, whatever. Henry Iron Smith, his name is my name too. Like, I don't care what his name is, he's irrelevant. I feel like with their situation, it's a perfect example of self-sabotage as well on Jackie's part, that she's not used to being loved properly. So she only sees toxicity or as a form of masculinity, as a form of attraction. And, you know, honestly, like, I just feel like they both were trying so hard to make it work. But at one point, they just kind of both gave up in their own ways. Like when Marshall left for 3 days, to me, that's a no call, no show. And then when Jackie was just tearing into him, like I said, we only see what's edited, but I feel like she tried the good boy thing, and she's like, I'm going to go back to what I know. And it's fine to go back to where you're comfortable, but don't expect to grow from there. With how they're treated at the reunion, and that's the end of my synopsis of the couples, but how they're treated at the reunion, I feel like with how they're treated at the reunion, I really feel like they need new hosts. That's what I have written here. They need a new host, but I don't want it to be Cam and Lauren. I feel like Cam and Lauren are so pure, needs to be protected with all costs, okay? Around the clock care with Cam and Lauren, that I don't want them to host a show and then have to be messy and like mess up like their Skybit. I don't want them to have to be messy and like mess up like their brand, because their brand is very, very much wholesome, you know, joking here and there, laughy, they whatever. But I don't want them to be the host for Love Is Blind, because I don't want them to have to go there. And I feel like the questions were dancing around what we really wanted. They did ask some hard-hitting questions. You know, some of the moments that I like from the reunion was definitely for sure when Zach was like, Irina, you only came on this show to get famous. Like, you notice I didn't mention Irina, right? She's irrelevant. Irina, you only came on this show to get famous, or blah, blah. When he called her out, I was like, finally, someone's asking the hard-hitting questions. But when he said that was hilarious. When he said it was just peak comedy right there when he said that. As well as I feel like, you know, the three-layered apology from Kwame, baby, save it. The only good thing that was good is that him and his barber finally agreed on an equator for his forehead. They finally did. I was happy about that. But other than that, like, Abyss looked good. Everybody's makeup looked good. Honestly, everybody looked beautiful. Even Irina looked stunning. Like, I loved her makeup. But it's just like, it just goes back to my main theory of pretty privilege. Like, literally at the end of the day, Irina saw Zach and was like, this is not who I like. Paul is somebody who I would like. And aesthetically wise, like, y'all gonna sit here and try to tell me that y'all only follow people who are ugly, or who are not conventionally attractive. I don't like using that word because everybody's ugly. Some people think I'm ugly. Yes, I've been called ugly before. So it's just because of my skin. I'm gonna leave that one open. But it's just one of those things where it's just like, I really feel like pretty privilege. Like when they say Love Is Blind, I was like, pretty privilege. Like I really want them, no offense, and it's gonna sound very harsh, so I'm gonna say it. I really want them to push it. I want them to push it next season. I really want them to push it about people's appearance, because you guys are making it sound like the average American looks like the cast of Love Is Blind. Perfect teeth. Everybody's teeth is like white. Like, is it like a whitening package? Perfect teeth, perfect hair, perfect eye shape, perfect eye color. Like, everything's perfect. Skin smooth, no blemishes, nothing. Everybody's just perfect on the show. And I was like, that's fine, but how can you really prove that Love Is Blind if the person that you attract is not going to be too hard to love them if you think that way, you know? But I really want them to push it next season. I don't want Nick and Vanessa to host their show. I know it's their show, but I don't want them to host it. I like that they stepped back this season. They're not really as involved, you know, because it's their story. I like that. But my thing is, like, it's okay to just be a producer behind the scenes and have another host who's unbiased who's unbiased, okay? Because I feel like we can't really get the questions and answers we want if people are biased about everything. I have that the fact that Zach was allowed a second choice, side eye, bombastic side eye. Like, I don't understand how that's fair, because I really feel like what pushed people to say yes in the positive, the fact that if I say yes to you, that's it. You're my only option. Like, I feel like bliss was still like an option back here. And I don't like that. Like, I feel like it's kind of like, okay, well, damn, like if we could just recant our responses because we didn't like what happened, then everybody would have a chance. Like at the end of the day, Bliss didn't have to say yes, blah, blah. But I do feel like that's not fair. If you are gonna do it like that, it should be called Love is Blind, it should be called Love is Blind, Second Chance at Love, okay? That should be the show. And maybe if the person's available, maybe they can have a second chance, but I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair. I know some people are gonna hate me for that, but I don't think it's fair, because it's just like everybody else had to stick to their guns. It's kind of like if Kwame found out that Micah and Paul didn't work out and he came running over there. I was like, let's try to get married now. There's a certain level, I'll let it pass because I really like Zach and Bliss together, because honestly, they complete each other. Like, nerds rule the world. But it's just something about the fact that he was allowed a second chance. It's just kind of like, side eye. So I was like, that's definitely earning a side eye from me. But overall, I do feel like love is not blind. Love is not blind. Love is very much 2020. Whatever prescriptions on his glasses, that's what love is. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you still have to be attracted to that person, or, they have to have certain qualities that, like, why do you think so many tall men, I can go to a separate video about this, but why do you think so many tall men have so many options? Because most women, aesthetically wise, like, they like seeing a man who's taller than they feel protected, blah, blah. Even though sometimes some of these, you can have a tall coward, okay? Don't miss out on that 5'7" king, short Kang, as they'll be calling them, who would really hold it down for you, but you're pressed about aesthetics. But if you agree, disagree, don't forget to subscribe, share. It's Claire here. Bye.